In 2018, deep inside the Black Ridge Wilderness, 3 experienced hikers vanished. Their tents were still standing. Their fire was still warm. What happened between nightfall and sunrise remains one of the strangest disappearances in the park's history. Mara Collins, 29, Jacob Reed, 31, and Daniel Price, 28, were not reckless thrill seekers. They were seasoned hikers who had spent years trekking through national parks, dense forests, and remote mountain trails. Friends since college, they planned this trip months in advance. They carried detailed maps, emergency beacons, satellite phones, first aid kits, and enough food to last for days. Friends described them as methodical, cautious, and deeply respectful of the wilderness. Their first full day in the wilderness passed without incident. They hiked along a narrow ridge, documented wildlife, and took photos of the river cutting through the valley below. Daniel's camera later showed something subtle but unsettling. Heavy fog rolling in far earlier than predicted, creeping through the trees like smoke. That evening, they set up camp beside a fast-moving river where the water sounded almost like distant voices. Nothing felt dangerous yet, only unusually still. After midnight, the forest changed. Not gradually. Suddenly, birds fell silent. Insects stopped humming. Even the river seemed to soften its roar. Then, around 2:14 a.m., they heard it. Not a clear voice, not a call for help, more like a vibration moving through the air, shaped like speech. It didn't say words, it moved between them. Daniel later wrote in his journal, "It sounded like someone standing just beyond sight, breathing words we couldn't quite understand." The sound drifted from deeper in the woods, beyond the marked trail. Jacob wanted to stay put. He believed the sound came from wind bending through rock formations near the river. Mara insisted it could be a lost hiker or someone injured. After tense discussion, they grabbed flashlights and moved toward the sound, promising to turn back if anything felt wrong. That decision pulled them beyond the boundary where maps stopped being reliable. Fog thickened as they moved forward, swallowing their flashlights into dull halos of light. The ground grew uneven, littered with broken stones and rotting leaves. Tree branches scraped their backpacks like reaching hands. The sound never grew louder, only nearer. After nearly an hour, they encountered a decaying wooden cabin hidden behind towering pine trees. Park records showed no structure in that area, but local residents later told investigators something chilling. For generations, hikers spoke of the listening house deep in Black Ridge, a cabin that appeared only at night, usually in fog, and was said to invite travelers inside. Some claimed it belonged to a long-dead forest caretaker who lured the lost toward shelter that wasn't really shelter. Others said the cabin was never real at all, but a trick of the wilderness meant to test the curious. Yet, there it stood, unmistakable in the darkness. Inside, a single lantern glowed dimly through broken windows. They approached cautiously. The door hung crooked on rusted hinges, but did not creak when it opened. Dust covered everything, untouched for years. On the table lay 3 backpacks. Same color, same brand, same model. The exact kind they were carrying. The sound returned, not from the cabin, but from the trees surrounding it, circling them now. No words, just presence. All 3 flashlights flickered. 10 went out together, and the forest went completely still. 3 days later, a rescue team located their campsite using coordinates from their trip plan. Tents intact, sleeping bags laid out, boots placed neatly by the entrance, fire still warm. No signs of struggle, no tracks leading away, no drag marks, no bodies. Search teams combed the area for weeks with helicopters, drones, and tracking dogs. They found nothing. The disappearance of Mara, Jacob, and Daniel remains unsolved. In the wilderness, curiosity does not just lead you somewhere. Sometimes it chooses what follows you back.